I just broke. And I just cried.
Jaleel White had a rough time on the set of Family Matters.
Someone who was very young and had a lot on his shoulders.
Getting into fights with cast members.
He didn't have the etiquette that maybe I and some others had. There was one time he actually wanted to physically fight me. I was gonna go in there and whip his behind.
He would constantly put him down.
Jo Marie and Reggie at that time were very sensitive to putting black men in dresses, and they keep that on me.
With other stars promised the limelight, caused crazy friction.
Yeah, Jo Marie, who the show was created for. It was a spin-off from Perfect Strangers.
Ironically creating one of the greatest characters in television history.
My way of combating the awkwardness of playing the character was to play the hell out of the character.
Jaleel White played Urkel in Family Matters.
Urkel, why don't you ever knock?
Well, if I did, nobody would ever let me in.
One of the side effects of playing Urkel was he had variance. Think Loki. Enter Myrtle Urkel, Steve's cousin.
Why, you big, strong, handsome, Yankee.
Jaleel White had no problem playing Myrtle at all.
If I think I'm gonna be made fun of by my peers at school for doing this, they're not gonna say I suck too.
But claims he was bullied by the adults on the set.
Jo Marie and Reggie at that time were very sensitive to putting black men in dresses, and they keep that on me.
This is how they allegedly spoke to 12-year-old Jaleel White.
They let me know that I was not doing our race a service by putting on that yellow dress.
Which put him in a tough spot.
Do you crumble? Do you wilt under pressure? Do you rise? Do you surprise yourself? My default tends to be to take it up a notch.
But he wasn't backing up or down for anyone.
That evening, I felt like a girl. I felt like a girl playing Myrtle Urkel.
Giving a killer performance.
I'll do it tonight. I shall steal into my beloved's room. I can't wait to see the expression on that boy's face.
Once the cameras stopped, he was left broken.
But I cried like a baby at the end of that tape. I just broke, and I just cried.
And his father finally spoke up.
My dad just rose up like a lion and was like, I've watched my son deal with this all week to pull out this performance, and he will never play this character again.
With a point nobody can deny.
He shouldn't have to carry the burden of some adults making a child feel bad for playing a girl just in fun.
From another perspective, Jaleel stole the limelight as the show was meant to follow Jo Marie Payton's Harriet Winslow from Perfect Strangers.
Mr. Bennett, when you came here, you had a reputation for being tough. And I can handle tough, but you don't stop at tough. You go to cruel.
As black sitcoms began picking up steam in the 80s with hits like Different World and The Cosby Show, black families were the focus, and in 1989, Family Matters began.
Harriet!
There was just one problem.
The first season actually wasn't looking too great, and they had plans to cancel the show. And then towards the end, they casted a nerdy next-door neighbor named Urkel and saved the show.
As the focus shifted from spin-off to a new IP with a new audience, the heat was turning up.
Jaleel, at the beginning of the show, it was tough for him, I think. From behind the scenes, someone who was very young and had a lot on his shoulders.
That new challenge morphed the young star.
Probably seasons 1 through 6, it was just about learning how to be famous and then accepting the responsibility that came along with it.
But according to Jaleel, made people treat him like an idiot.
It was a rough going for the first 2 seasons. My mom was very deferential. She was so much more concerned with me being a kid who stayed in his place.
Reportedly at one point getting into an argument with Jo Marie Payton after she shut down one of his episode ideas.
He was so mad, he started kicking and screaming and stuff. I walked off, and then I heard him say something, and I said, what did he say? He said, she must want a melee. I said, what's a melee? A fight. I turned around, I said, you want to fight? I was gonna go in there and whip his behind.
And his mom wasn't backing his beef.
Did you talk back to this woman in the makeup room? And I'm like, yo, you don't hear how these ladies talk.
Even though it may not have been the best move.
It also meant that I had to put up with some disrespect at times because I was just raised to not disrespect your elders.
Which is what I think led to his co-stars feeling they could rip on the team for being an entertainer.
For some reason, which may be accurate, there is a higher criticism or a higher belief that there's a particular enjoyment by putting black men, though, in dresses.
And could have gone down the route of other child stars who were broken on their own shows.
I do remember very vividly, like, I broke down because I knew, or I convinced everybody I'm a girl.
Jaleel White has since come out strong and dominated his persona, turning his stardom into a brand. Follow Markndrew 2024 for more personal takes and behind the scenes.